Hey everyone, it's Michelle and Mia over at the Gray Family Farm. We are doing our recipe for our entry for a NetZro competition that they're doing. NetZro is a company I actually found on Instagram. They partner with local distilleries and breweries and use the leftover grain to create upcycled flour. Obviously we've been using this bag quite a bit. I mean, we have a decent amount portioned out for pie crust, but I've been using this to feed my sourdough starter. I don't do all whole wheat, but I do give it a little bit of whole wheat when I feed it, and I think it makes it taste extra tasty. Today our challenge was to create a recipe using upcycled ingredients or ingredients found locally. And so today we are going to make a crab apple pie with crab apples from Mia's old director from one of the musicals she did last year before the pandemic hit. And then we're using our upcycled flour for the pie crust and the top. And yeah, Mia's already started portioning things out, so I'm gonna let her take over, kind of explaining what she's doing. And here we go.
So I measured these ingredients for the bottom and the top layer, so you can have a top layer over the filling. So this is 2.5 cups of the upcycled whole wheat flour and 2 teaspoons of salt. So we're just gonna carefully try to dump this in here without spilling, which is impossible.
That's what spatulas are for.
True. Boom. No spilling.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
All right. And then we're just going to pulse this together a little bit. Wait, wrong way. I don't know how to use a food processor.
This is a new to us food processor, so we're still learning.
And then we have 16 tablespoons or 2 whole sticks of butter cut up into small little cubes and chilled in the fridge.
Alright, you need help with this one too?
Yeah, probably. I shouldn't use my hands. That's gross.
This is only going to be eaten by us, so that's why we're not being... Oh,
There's paper in there. Lovely.
It's nice and cold. Cold butter is very important for the pie crust part of the recipe.
And then we're just gonna put... Yay, I did it. Okay.
So now what are we doing? Mia has written out the recipe that she wants to use. So this is our recipe that we've kind of created, a modified recipe to fit the needs of this competition.
It's kind of like our pancake recipe. We
used a different recipe as the base and then modified it until it kind of fit what our family needs. All right, take it away.
So we're just gonna pulse this until it's coated in flour, and the biggest pieces are as big as a small little pea.
Oh yeah, it's getting there. It's kind of getting, it looks almost like wet sand right now. So it's definitely getting there. We have a little bit more to go.
So let's keep pulsing this.
So like the bottom is really moist, but the top is not super moist.
Well, we're gonna add water, so it should... Oh, Mom, I just greened that. Ah! Flowers everywhere.
Flour and salt, right?
And butter.
Now what?
Then we're going to drizzle half a cup of ice water Try not to get the ice in the thing. There we go.
Okay, so this is a bowl of ice water that Mia has. Ice water. There we go.
So we're gonna pulse this in 1/4 of a cup at a time.
So she just drizzled some right on the top.
And we're just
And are we doing all of this?
no, just half a cup of it. I just poured it so that we can measure.
We're gonna do one more drizzle.
1/4 of the cup. Alright, now we're going to do the next 1/4 of a cup of water.
This is the second and the last, right?
Yes.
So it should be a half a cup of ice cold water total. And so this is the second. We do it at 1/4 portions at a time. 1/4 of a cup.
Okay, so now that this is done, and it's all come together, we're gonna put it in some parchment paper. We're just gonna do 2 little balls of dough. One will be a tiny bit bigger than the other, so that the bigger one will be for the base, the smaller one will be for the top. Alright, now that that's all done, we're going to wrap it all up. We're going to stick it in the fridge for 1 hour.
All right, here we go.
Okay guys, so I realized I wasn't filming, but I put the dough in the pan. You don't want it hanging over the edge. You want it just slightly up to the edge. You might want to lift these up more. Here we go, fast forward. Alright, there we go. So it's all the way up to the edge, but not hanging over the edge, so that we can put the top over it and it'll be nice. That was Abby. She's playing with her whistle. I don't know if you could hear that. But if you were wondering, that's what that was. We're going to put this back in the fridge for another hour, and while that is in the fridge for an hour, we're going to be making the filling. So let's cut to us making the filling. So we've got our 1 cup of sugar and 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. We've got 1 whole tablespoon of the upcycled whole wheat flour. And we've got, I think, let me look at the recipe. Sorry guys. And we've got the 4th teaspoon of salt. Yes. So 1 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of the upcycled whole wheat flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. It smells really good. I'm super excited to try this. And now we're gonna add in our 6 cups of crab apples.
That's a lot of crab apples.
All right, here we go. It's dinner time here, so we're a little noisy. Just a drop left. All right, so that's half a teaspoon. Now we're gonna do the other half a teaspoon. This is a new vanilla extract. So we're gonna pop that bad boy open. Burger. Pour some of that back in there. Our 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now we're just gonna stir all this up. Alright, so now that we have our apples all mixed up, they're nice and coated in sugar, we're gonna move this to the side and we're gonna grab our dough. So this is our other dough that we did not flatten out for the edge. So I'm gonna grab okay, so we have our bottom. It's been in the fridge for a little bit over an hour, accidentally. And then we're gonna grab this. We're gonna grab our rolling pin. We're gonna roll this out a little bit and just get this nice and flat to put over the top of our pie. Alright, so now we're going to pour the apple mixture into the pan. There might be a lot extra. Ooh, that's juicy. Juicy pie. So you're going to cut it into 3 horizontally and 3 vertically.
Okay, keep going. I have butter, you guys. Cold butter.
Yes, cold butter. Yeah, I think we have a lot extra.
You can overfill it.
You can, even though this
And then the pie, so the pie can go like up. Yeah.
I don't think we have enough top crust for that though.
Well, usually you don't just put a crust on top.
You're
It's
gonna,
just butter knife.
okay. Nope, scoop some. Alright, so there we go. Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I got a towel.
What are we doing with the butter?
We're gonna sprinkle the butter over the thing, and then I'm gonna get a third of a cup of water.
So, Joe, do you like apple pie? If you had an apple pie, would you rather it have the lattice top, or would you rather just have the whole top with designs in it? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Alright, we've got a third of a cup of water. It doesn't matter if it's cold or warm, it's just gonna get baked anyway. So, there we go. What? Oh, okay.
I've never done a lattice top, so.
What is boil? Oh, it's the rice. We're having some rice with dinner, and it's boiling over. Boopity bop boop beep boop. Sprinkle this all over. The butter will melt, be nice and buttery, and be delicious. Oh, There we go.
All right, we're gonna try and create a lattice top, and I'm gonna time lapse it because I have no idea what I'm doing, so it might take a while.
All right, so we made the effort and we did sort of.
Yep, we're spilling apple juice, so what we were
Again.
gonna do is add some sugar on the top of it.
We already spilled once, so.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We are learning how to bake.
I'm not learning. I'm just kidding. I am still learning.
Yeah, your channel is too amateurs. We're adding a little bit of sugar because we're worried that with the
Juice spilling out.
and we should add a little bit more water then. That's-
Add a little bit more water on the insides.
Trying to add it in the cracks so that it doesn't get the dough wet. We don't want mushy dough. All right.
All right, and then this is gonna go in the oven. We have the oven preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and it. Yep.
Well, I was gonna show the pie. We added a G on top because.
For the grade.
All right.
So the pie is gonna go in the oven
How long?
for 50 minutes.
You can just take that off.
Yep.
Okay.
Hold it down.
Oh, I didn't know you.
That.
Well, I'm gonna do 49 now, but it's gonna be in there cooking
It's got 5 seconds left.
on the pie.
Oh. Sneak peek.
It's done.
Mmm.
Get another mitt, quick.
You think it's ready?
Yeah.
Was it 50 minutes or 50 to 55 minutes?
50 minutes. The recipe said 50 minutes, so I put 50 minutes in our joint recipe.
It's definitely bubbling.
Ooh, kind of looks like a cinnamon bun, the G.
All right, we'll give it the taste test here shortly.
Alright, so the pie is done, and we're gonna have a taste test. It kind of looks like gloop. I think the liquid made the bottom a little too gushy, so it's a little gross.
Yeah.
But it still tastes good, I bet. Mmm. I literally only had one taste, and it tastes really good.
Mm. It is good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That is good.
Mm.
You want to take another bite, Abby? Here.
I eat all of this.
I think it's a bit too late for that. There's some apple. You want some crust? The crust is really good.
Look why.
This part.
And the apples too.
It's all really good.
Mm.
I really like the apples though.
Mm-mm.
It tastes like a normal apple pie. It tastes like it has cinnamon. And it doesn't. Boomtown. I made that.
Look at it. I like
This is
that.
really good.
Uh-huh.
Alright guys. I think that's enough for tonight. Whoa, you're dropping everywhere. Careful.
Now.
Alright, say bye.